What's the best instant karma you've ever seen in a classroom? During my junior year of high school, there was this guy named Derek who thought he was God's gift to academia. He was the type who'd answer every question before anyone else had a chance to process it. Our AP history teacher, Mr. Collins, was this really patient older man who'd been teaching for 30 years. One day, Derek raised his hand during a lecture about World War II and said, "Actually, Mr. Collins, I think your timeline is off by about 6 months. I just finished reading a book that contradicts everything you're saying." Mr. Collins just nodded and said, "That's an interesting perspective, Derek. We'll discuss it after class." But Derek wouldn't let it go. "I don't think we need to wait. I can explain it to everyone right now." He stood up without permission and walked to the front of the class. Mr. Collins stepped aside, his face completely neutral. For 15 excruciating minutes, Derek lectured us about how the textbooks were wrong, and only he knew the real truth. The worst part was how he kept looking at Lily, this really sweet girl who sat in the front row. She had a learning disability and took meticulous notes. Derek kept saying things like, "This isn't that complicated. Even someone struggling with basic concepts should be able to follow along." Lily kept her head down, but we could all see her cheeks turning red. This became a regular thing. Derek would interrupt lessons, correct other students' answers, and roll his eyes whenever someone asked a question he deemed too basic. During group projects, nobody wanted to work with him because he'd take over completely and belittle everyone's contributions. His favorite phrase was "actually," followed by some condescending explanation. The breaking point came during our midterm presentations. Each student had to present on a historical figure. When Lily got up to present on Eleanor Roosevelt, she was visibly nervous. Her hands were shaking, but she was doing a good job. About 2 minutes in, Derek loudly sighed and said, "This is painful to watch. Can we move on to someone who actually prepared?" The room went silent. Mr. Collins stood up and said, "Derek, since you're so eager to demonstrate your knowledge, why don't you go next?" Derek strutted to the front, not even looking at Lily as she returned to her seat with tears in her eyes. "My presentation is on Alexander Hamilton," Derek announced smugly. "I've prepared 45 slides because, unlike some people, I actually did comprehensive research." He connected his laptop to the projector and launched into what felt like a rehearsed TED Talk. About 5 minutes in, Mr. Collins interrupted him. "Derek, can you tell us about Hamilton's role in establishing the first bank of the United States?" Derek scoffed. "Of course, Hamilton practically created the American banking system single-handedly in 1781. Mr. Collins nodded. "And what about his famous duel with Aaron Burr?" Derek rolled his eyes. "Everyone knows that. July 11th, 1825. Hamilton fired first, but missed intentionally." Mr. Collins stood up slowly. "Derek, I'd like you to look at the dates you just provided." The class was confused, but Mr. Collins continued. "The first bank was established in 1791, not 1781, and the duel with Burr was in 1804, not 1825. Derek's face went pale. "Simple mistakes. I misspoke." Mr. Collins wasn't done. "For someone who claims to have done comprehensive research, these are rather significant errors. In fact, I count 17 historical inaccuracies in your presentation so far." He picked up a red pen and handed it to Derek. "Please mark each error on your slides as we go through them." For the next 30 minutes, Mr. Collins methodically dismantled Derek's entire presentation, pointing out every fabrication, exaggeration, and misquoted source. By the end, Derek's pristine slides were covered in red marks. The final blow came when Mr. Collins said, "Derek, I noticed many of your slides contain paragraphs lifted directly from websites without attribution. At this institution, we call that plagiarism." Derek never interrupted another class again.